Hello. Now we are taking the last problem in the series of instantaneous center method. Today will be problem number 8 and we are going to see something slightly new here. Problem number 8, let me draw that first. This is a stone crushing mechanism. Stone crushing mechanism. Let us draw the figure first. So now you can see how the problem is. There is a linkage diagram shown. There is a roller here, there is a roller here. Power is input at A. So when the roller at A rotates, because of that the roller at B also rotates in the opposite direction. So when this rotates, this is like a crank. So C to B is a link. CB line, if you draw that line, is a link. So instead of considering this roller, you can just think of a line like this, which is a link. So that link will rotate and then this mechanism will start working. And during the working of a mechanism, what happens is, this particular link EF, which is there, this EF is going to perform this kind of a motion. So suppose I show it like this, then this is going to rotate about this point like this. So when it rotates, what happens? The stones which are placed here, they are getting impacted. There is going to be impact of this hammer, and as a result, the stones are getting crushed. So what is the data says? The data, of course, as you are given all the dimensions, so that you can draw the linkage diagram. And the most important information written here is that the stone resistance is 200 Newton. That means this stone is offering a resistance in the opposite direction, which is of 200 Newton. That means for breaking a stone, you have to apply a force in this direction equal to 200 Newtons. So this 200 Newtons force which you are going to apply, that force and multiply by the velocity of this point, velocity of E in this direction. So as you know, force into velocity is power. So 200 Newtons force and the velocity E, VE. So 200 Newtons into VE if you do, then that is going to be the power that is required for crushing the stone. So whatever power you require, that becomes the power output. So you require a power output this much. And for this much power output, you have to provide the same power input here. Assuming that there are no losses here. So whatever power input output you require, you have to supply the same power at A. So the answer for power input at A is same as power output here, and power output required here is equal to force into velocity. Out of that, this is the force and velocity is velocity of E. So in other words, what is asked is find VE. So if you could find out velocity of E, then velocity of E into this is same as power input. So the problem is essentially only this, only the wording is different, and it is giving us some more information about how the mechanisms are made and how they work. So in other words, suppose you make this mechanism, then this answer is the power that you have to supply here. So whatever is the motor you require to be connected here should have this much amount of power which you are going to find out. But then in actual practice, there are going to be losses. So power output, you have to increase the power output, whatever is required here, that power output you have to increase by maybe some 10% more, 10, 15, 20% more to take care of the losses, and that will be your actual power input. But right now we are not considering any losses. So our power output, whatever you get, is going to be same as power input. So when you start solving the problem, for us, solving of the problem is nothing but to find out the velocity of E. Okay. So now with this, let us see how we go further and work. So let me first say, write down the link numbers. So the fixed link is already, we always name it as link number 1. Okay, now we will call this as link number 2. This roller is a link number 2. We did not give any number to this. Then this is link number 3. Maybe we will give link number 4 to this. This will be link number 4. Then this will be 5. This will be 6. So these are all the different links. Now let's find out the ICs which are already known just by observation. So this is going to be O12. This is going to be O23. This will be 3 and 4 and 6. So O23, O34, O46 and O36. They are all here. Then this is O16. This is O45 and this is O15. So these many centers we already know. Now we'll start solving the problem, and anything which you want to know, that you can find out as it requires. So we'll start with link number 2 and say that. But before we do that, we want to know the angular velocity of omega 2, which is not given here. So there is one more difference in this problem. We are given the speed RPM of A, and we are given the diameters. So by diameter ratio, you can find out what is the speed of B. So what will be speed of B? Speed of B upon speed of A is equal to diameter of A upon diameter of B. Now, because of this, you can see that speed of B is equal to speed of A, and then diameter of A upon diameter of B. So this will give you speed of B in RPM. So once you know speed of B in RPM, then you can find omega of link number 2 is equal to 2 pi speed of B upon 60. 2 pi n by 60, that is omega 2. So we find out omega 2 by this, and it will come this way. So once you find out what is omega 2, now you can go to link number 2. So for link number 2, now you can say that velocity of velocity of 2 3 is equal to omega 2 and 1 2 2 3. So this you can find out. This is velocity of 2 3. Now we have already done this earlier. Let's go to now link number 3. Velocity of O23 is also on link number 3. So we say it is like this, and for this we need to know the point 013 where it is. So we'll now maybe say draw here. I'll draw Kennedy circle here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 6, 1, 6. 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, 6. Then there is a 3, 4, 4, 6. 3, 4, 4, 6, 4, 5, and 1, 5. So these are the centers which we have already marked, and we have drawn the lines there. Now let's try to find out where is O13. So for O13 we say O13 is first of all here. So O13 is 1, 2, 2, 3, and then 1, 6, 3, 6. So we join these points. So 1, 2 and 2, 3. 1, 2 here, 2, 3 here, so this line. And then 1, 6 and 3, 6. 1, 6 here, 3, 6 here, so this line. So this is the required point, that is here. This point is O13. So we have got point O13 now. So knowing point O13, now we can go ahead and find out the omega 3. So omega 3 will be equal to, now see this velocity we have found out, velocity of O23. So this is same whether it is rotating about 1, 2 or about 1, 3. So for this velocity you get omega 3 like this. And because of omega 3 like this, the velocity of omega 3 you can find out like this. Now knowing omega 3, any other point on link 3 you can find out the velocity. So let us try to find out 3, 6. So I'll write maybe here. Omega 3 and distance from 3, 6 to 1, 6. 3, 6 to 1, 3. So this you can find out. So you will get the velocity of 36 perpendicular to this line, say like this. 36 means this point, whether you call it D or 36 or 34 or 46, all these points are same and their velocity is like this perpendicular. Now this is same as velocity of 0.34. And maybe others also. Now why I have taken 3-4? Because next time we are going to take link number 4. So let us do that. I'll just write this down. I'll make some space and we'll solve the problem further. So write up to this much. Okay. So we know velocity of 3-4. So now let us consider link 4 first. So 3-4 is a point whose velocity we already found out. That is now on 4. So accordingly we now write equal to omega of 4 and distance from 1-4 to 3-4. 1-4 to 3-4. Now where is 1-4? 1-4 is not there right now. So let's now try to find out where is 1-4. For that, we will join this O14. And now I'll write here O14 is obtained by 1334 and 1646. So let us join 13 and 34. So 13 is here. Or maybe I'll write, see now what happens is 1334 is this line and 1646 is also this line. So this line is not correct. It is of no use. So we'll find out some other way, maybe 1545. 1545, so 15 is here, 45 is here. So this is one line and the other line is this line. 1334 is this line and 1545 is this line. So that is the point which we wanted. So O14 has come here. So we got point O14 over here. Now once you got point O14, from O14 to 45, O14 to 34, this becomes the distance and velocity is already known. So that tells us that omega 4 will be like this. So you can find out omega 4 this much. Even in earlier case, when you find out omega 3, you have to write down the direction which you have found out as clockwise. Here we have found out direction as anti-clockwise. So that you have to mention here. Anti-clockwise you must mention. Please make a note. Many students have not written this. So this direction is a must. Okay, so we have now found out omega 4. That is the angular velocity of 4 we have found out. Now any other point on link 4? 4, 5. So now we can say velocity of 4, 5, which is nothing but velocity of E what we wanted. So velocity of E is same as velocity of 4, 5. Now it can be obtained, that is equal to omega 4 and distance from 1, 4 to E, or maybe 4, 5, whatever. So 1, 4 to E, this distance if you measure and this distance if you multiply by omega, so this is R 3 omega, so that will give you V. This is VE. So you can get the value of VE. So once you know VE, what it means, we have just now earlier discussed. So power output now. What is power output at E? That is equal to power at E is equal to force. Force means the stone resistance into velocity of point E. So this is 200 newtons into whatever velocity value you have got. This will give you answer in watts. But for that, you need to have velocity E in meters per second. So force into velocity, that is watts. And after you find out this, now you can say power input. Power input equal to same as power output is equal to the same answer in watts. So you'll get the power output at A, power input at A is equal to power output answer what you got here. So that much amount of power you have to put here at A, and then the mechanism will start working and the hammer will start crushing the stones. So this is the way this exercise you can solve. Okay. So that was our last problem, problem number 8 in the IC method for finding out velocities. So this problem you can solve by proper dimensions, and then you can get the answers. Now whenever the figures are of larger size, of course you are free to take the scale and draw them into a reasonable space. But that doesn't mean that the values are also to be reduced. Whatever is 300 years, 600 years, you have drawn a line, maybe smaller line, but that line is representing 600. So the names will continue, the distances will still continue what they are, although you have drawn them as 2 centimeters or 3 centimeters. So keep a note of that and work the entire problem the way it was discussed.